I have no mouth, therefore I cannot scream.
Damn, I wasn't recording any of that. That was good.
Why?
Because I messed up. I didn't get your
Oh my
end.
god. Oh my god.
Well, were you recording?
No,
Well, there you
you're the one
go.
that's supposed to be. Because every time I record, you don't want my so why would I bother recording?
Now I'm recording.
Everybody got to hear how smart I was, and you didn't record it.
Now it just sounds like I'm right.
No, you're literally talking to somebody who went all the way through culinary school about the fact that an eggplant is a vegetable, and it is not. It's not even the fact that I disagree. You're just wrong. I
I'm
don't
not
have to
wrong.
disagree because you're actually wrong.
I'm not wrong. It's not.
You
It's
are.
not.
You're
Listen.
wrong.
Listen. Okay.
You're ridiculous. You're actually
When you
ridiculous.
buy an assorted fruit plate from the grocery store, those are fruits. There's no carrots in there. There's no peppers in
So
there.
wrong.
There's no mushrooms in there. There's no eggplants in there.
Honestly, it kind of depends on the
in
culture.
those go in the vegetable tray.
Yeah, but it kind of depends on the culture as well. Like some people will just eat raw peppers
What's a
and stuff.
carrot?
A root vegetable. It is an actual root of a plant.
Is it?
Yes.
What's a potato?
What's potatoes?
It's a root vegetable.
Potatoes.
No, you're a potato. What's a sweet potato?
Wow. It's me because I'm very sweet and loving.
What's a sweet potato?
Me.
Or whatever.
It's also a root vegetable. Same with the yam.
String beans.
Anything that grows, string beans grow off of a vine, so they're technically a fruit, but I believe they classify as the legume family.
That's interesting because how come a string bean can identify as a vegetable and an eggplant can't?
No, well, because they're vegetable, they're legumes. That's
Why?
just what they are.
Why?
I think a fruit. It's because I think it has to deal with the seed layout in things.
You're reaching, you're grasping. You don't know the answer.
No, I think that's. I actually I'm not sure. I know that like I'm not 100%, but they are actually legumes. So they're a subgroup of vegetable.
You're a subgroup of vegetable.
But that's not nice.
Yes, it is.
But it's like they're technically a fruit. Does a green bean or a string bean plant require flowers to actually grow the string beans?
I don't know. Is that what the difference is?
Usually, yeah, it's like a flower would have to be pollinated, and then that would grow the fruit, and inside the fruit would be the seeds of the plant.
Pretty sure an eggplant is a vegetable.
Yeah, they develop from the flower of a plant and contain seeds. Therefore, it is a fruit. Vegetables or any other part of the plant, roots, stems, or leaves, are, vegetables because I don't think they come off of fruit or off of a flower.
Fine.
Oh, but yeah, string beans are also technically fruit because they do flower,
Does
and
it
it requires
say
the
anywhere
flowers.
that it's technically fruit?
They are technically fruit of the plant, but they are in the legume category of vegetables because classifications of things are very weird.
Yeah.
But no, an eggplant is not a vegetable.
Then you should start enjoying eggplants as part of your fruit platters.
I don't want to.
Why? It's a
I
fruit.
don't.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it like you would any
No.
other fruit.
No, maybe like in falafel,
What a watermelon.
I'll have some falafel. I would love that. That'd be great.
You don't put fruit in a falafel. You put vegetables in it.
But a watermelon is a fruit.
There's no mango falafel.
Okay, but falafel is made with eggplant.
It makes you feel awful.
No, it's amazing.
A falafel makes
I honestly
you feel
thought
awful.
falafel was made with. Oh no, never mind. It's chickpeas and
A
fava
guy went
beans.
there. He was like, "What's this thing called?" The guy went falafel. And I was like, "Oh man, yeah, I did feel awful when I ate that." Get it?
Yeah.
Okay. You kind of look like an eggplant.
No,
A little bit.
I don't. No,
Little
I
bit.
don't.
If I put this here, do you see it?
I see a very small Grand Theft Auto thing on my screen. Yes.
Yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto 6.
I think if
They did a trailer yesterday for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Okay.
It's coming out. It exists. You say okay, that's it.
Yeah,
That's all the
I
excitement you can muster up for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Well, that's why, because I'm not really that excited for it. Like
Why
I've been
not?
talking with
Everybody else is.
I've been talking with a couple of people, and it's just like, yeah, I know it's Grand Theft Auto 6, and it's the next one that's in the thing, but I don't know. The setting, the story
Isn't it Vice City?
doesn't really. Well, is it? I thought it was like
I think it's
Florida.
Vice City. I thought it was
It
Vice
feels like
City.
Florida.
I think I got a picture here. Well, I know it feels like Florida. But there's even a picture of like a plane flying over Vice City.
Oh, okay. It just feels like they're trying to embody the Florida Man gameplay experience,
Maybe. I can see
but then
that.
they're slapping on like a crappy love story on top of it and trying to make their own version of Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, that could be part of it, I think. It's kind of like a trope that's existed for a while, the whole Bonnie and Clyde thing, and I can see why they would want to do it. There's also hinting in
Yeah.
the trailer of like a double cross because somebody's talking to the main dude, this dude, whatever his name is, and somebody's talking to him, and they're like, they know all your addresses, they know all this, they know all that. So like somebody's ratted him out to the cops or whatever. So maybe she's ratting him out to the cops. Maybe that's how she got out of
I was
jail. You never know.
I was gonna say something like that and be like, well, anything to save your own skin, right?
You never know, right? And so it could be one of those. Now, me, I've never really been one to get excited for Grand Theft Auto games, but they're always generally good.
Right.
Like, I know it's going to come out eventually, and if I decide I want to buy it, it's probably going to be an okay experience. But do you know what you're getting with Grand
I
Theft
feel
Auto?
like the uh single player experience is gonna be pretty good, but then I don't think the multiplayer's experience is gonna be very good
No, why
because
not? They've spent 10 years building their
it doesn't
multiplayer.
feel. I don't really like it.
No?
The reason why is it's too PvP oriented. And I know
Okay.
people will be like, but there's a lot of things you could do on your own. And it's like, yeah, but to make any real money, you have to essentially play online.
There's no like
Oh,
PvE
I'm gonna
heists or
sell.
whatever?
Well, there's that, but that's just like running the exact same mission over and over and over again. I think the last thing that I ended up doing was the nightclubs.
Okay.
And I kind of just got my nightclub started, and then I was like, I don't want to wait 10 or 15
For
hours
us to be
just to come back
over. Na,
on and
na, na,
collect
na, na, na,
$2,000.
na, na, na. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think.
You got your
Uh,
weed farm and your
uh,
cocaine farm and whatever, or manufacturing business.
I don't really care about that stuff too much. I don't care about doing that stuff at all.
It's fun to do for the first time and like the first couple of ones where you're like, oh, I'm gonna get my first shipment and all that stuff, and then you're in a lobby with 50 people who are just PvPing, and then they
Oh,
see a blip on the map that's just like, hey, here's this target that is perfectly tracked for you. So it's just a waypoint marker. And oh, look at all these flying things that everybody has that can shoot missiles unlimited amounts.
that's bad. I don't know why my eyebrows aren't
Yeah,
working, but they're not.
I don't know. Maybe Botox injections. You've gotten
Maybe
too
that
many.
must be it. Grand Theft Auto 6. Everyone is saying it looks amazing. Literally, people are
I
reacting
mean, it
like
looks
crazy people.
amazing.
People
That's
are like,
fine.
"Oh my god, my life has changed
But
so much
again,
since the last one came out." Because I guess this was like a real
yeah,
big
I'm
deal for
seeing all these
people.
things that they're like new goal, survive until
Yeah, what the hell?
2026,
What
and
the
it's
hell
like
is
you need to
that? Like,
have
who
more goals in your
cares?
life,
You know what?
you
It's
know?
they're probably young. They're probably experiencing a franchise thing that was really special to them. It's kind of like, when you're watching Lost and you're like, "Oh man, I hope I make it to see the end of Lost."
But I mean, if they came out with Team Fortress 3, I would probably be super excited about it and all
Well,
that
think
stuff,
you
right?
would be saying goal unlocked, survive till Team Fortress
No,
3 comes out.
no, I wouldn't. They're gonna make you spend $100 on this game, and then you're gonna have to wait like 6 or 7 months for them to actually finish the game, and they're gonna
$100?
then like, oh yeah, believe me, they're gonna make it like full price game. It's gonna be
Like
like 80
a
USD or
hundred
something like
Canadian or
that.
100 US?
It's gonna be like 100 Canadian
Game's already
because I'm
100
starting to
Canadian.
see.
I think it's
I
gonna be
know,
100 US. I'm seeing. Now that you said that, I'm looking. It's gonna be
which is
100 US.
insane,
It's 100 US.
insane to me. It's
So
I don't feel
here's
like that's worth it at all.
here's what bothers me. Okay, here's what bothers me. Everybody who
What?
has a problem with the price all of a sudden forgot about it to say how amazing the game looks. And they're hyping the
Right?
game up.
Yeah, it's almost like they only care about it for the content and not the actual opinions. I know like a lot of people end up just buying the game and playing the game. That's fine. But if you really want to foster an online community of people, make the game cheaper so more people have more entry point into it. And
Maybe.
then you will also allow those people to be like, now since it's so cheap, I'm not really thinking about this, but wow, that thing that's in the store right now, that skin or whatever, like, oh, I have extra money, I could just buy that. And then they essentially end up spending the same amount as they would on the game in the first place, but it
Yeah.
makes you as a developer look better.
Yeah, because I gotta say, like, free-to-play games, even if I'm only gonna play it for 2 months,
And
I might spend the
you
price
know
of a
who
game on it.
doesn't need all that money? Rockstar, the people who have been
This is gonna
selling
be the biggest game
in-game
ever
money.
to release. This is gonna be
Yeah,
huge. It's gonna be fucking mental. And Rockstar doesn't need the 100 USD per game, but they want it and they know they can get it. And the other companies are excited because then they can raise their prices.
exactly.
Well, I'm going to say that I'm excited for something. I'm not going to say something new because GTA 6 won't be anything new as far as like the kind of stuff that we get from a GTA themed
Yeah.
game. You know what you're going to get when you're going to play it, but it's going to be so well polished that it's going to be like quote unquote next gen feeling. So like even though I'm not
If
like, "Oh my
anything,
god, I can't wait." It's still going to be an awesome game to play.
they're going to develop the game, and they've spent so much time developing the game that right now, for this next year, they're going to spend time gutting the game so they could release it as DLC later, which is already finished.
Are you calling
Like
that
when you,
now? Is that your prediction?
yeah,
Oh,
that's my prediction.
okay.
Especially if it releases with online, they don't
Yeah.
want you to get the whole online experience because there's going to be like a 15-year roadmap for it,
I'm sure there's going to be
which
battle
half of this
passes
stuff
and
is
stuff
probably already
too.
done. Oh, exactly. You know exactly what's going on
Yeah,
because there
there's
was
going to be
already a
battle
GTA
passes.
Plus.
So, for the most part, Rockstar has kind of gotten a free pass at this stuff, though. How come everybody
It is
holds
so
all the other
disgusting.
companies to account and then everyone's excited for Rockstar?
Well,
Because
because
it kind of
Rockstar is
sounds like they're as
Rockstar.
bad as Activision as far as
Yeah,
microtransactions.
people don't seem to actually care about it. It's just something I've always found really gross. You're just selling in-game currency. You know, it
Yeah.
goes back to like EVE Online
Yeah.
and stuff like that too, where you can just buy in-game money and you can extract money from the game so that you can actually quote unquote get paid from the game. And that was their whole thing where they're like, you can get paid to play a game, dude.
I think that Rockstar kind of figured out how to do the real money auction house thing with better PR than Blizzard did.
Man, I miss the real money auction house. I made so much on that just by actually playing Diablo 4. Get paid to play a game, dude. And being like, yeah, no, I'm just kind of good at the
I think it
game.
was
And I
wasn't
would
it
just
3?
sell random stuff. Was it 3?
3
No,
had
yeah,
the
it
real
was
money
3.
auction
Oh, my
house.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was 3. Because I was selling like super end game loot for like 50 cents. Get paid to play a game.
Right.
And
Okay.
people were buying it,
It's basically a lifestyle at this point. If you're still hardcore into
you know?
GTA 5 online, that's a lifestyle choice right there.
Not excited about the Bonnie and Clyde style of like love story crap. I want to steal cars. I want to like do some really crazy shit. I don't need a relationship.
In contrast, I am excited for that because it means they're doing something different this time. And I love when they're going to do something different story wise. I'm
Yeah,
here
but you
for it.
know for a fact that they're gonna go through like a whole bunch of the exact same tropes that are just recycled and just horrible
I
to deal
think
with. Like,
I
oh,
think
she's
she's
gonna get
gonna
mad at
well,
me.
she's a CI, I think. To get out of
Yep.
jail, she's probably an informant, but she's not gonna like sell him out. She's gonna unsell him out at the end or something.
Yeah, she's gonna sell him out just to unsell him out, which is gonna be like barf, boring.
Yeah.
Oh, she betrayed me. No, she didn't. Whatever.
I think you're gonna eat your words and you're gonna enjoy the game. See, the thing with Rockstar is they release so few games, you never know what they're gonna do, and they never make any statements ahead of time about what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I know.
It's not even
It's
confirmed
really
yet that
weird.
it's gonna be $100.
Oh, it's
So you
gonna be
never know.
$100. You
So we'll see.
know for a fact
We'll see.
that it's going to be that.
Want to talk about Thunderbolts? The Thunderbolts.
Who?
The Thunderbolts.
You mean Thunderbolts asterisk?
Yeah, Thunderbolts Asterix.
Right, right. Got you.
We saw it.
You got to say it right.
That's not the name of the movie anymore. They changed
Yeah.
the name of the movie. It's changed officially. It's officially been changed.
Is it actually official, or was
Yeah,
it just at the end that they changed it?
Bucky walked down the street and he taped a poster over a poster. But no, they're sending out new marketing and stuff too that says the new Avengers. It's weird. It's a weird team because the new Avengers is in the comics, but it ain't them. I don't even think they were originally the new Avengers. I think that was something that was added more recently into the story that they decided to do. I heard
Yeah.
originally this was just going to be Black Widow too.
It's kind of weird, but okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, the new Avengers or Thunderbolts. What'd you think?
I thought it was okay. I might be like losing my steam for Marvel movies
Yeah.
because there's a lot of things that were just kind of weird about it. There was no reason for that to have happened, but then it happened anyway.
And we're gonna try not to do spoilers, and then maybe we can talk
Yeah, I'm
about
not I'm
spoilers
not gonna
after.
say any spoilers,
Right now,
but
we're not
it
gonna talk
almost
about
feels like
spoilers.
if you think the way that I think about it, then things really need to be explained.
But
Yeah,
generally speaking, you think you're experiencing a bit of Marvel fatigue there? A little bit of the
I
Marvel
might be
fatigue?
experiencing Marvel fatigue. Yeah,
Interesting.
because now it's another set of characters that are all having to fit into the puzzle pieces of the MCU.
I understand where you're coming from completely. At the same time, I'm kind of okay with it because I didn't really like a lot of the other characters they were presenting us with and a lot of the other films that were in Phase 4 and Phase 5. Like, let's be real. That's a garbage Ant-Man movie, Ant-Man 3.
I never saw it. I never saw any of them.
You probably haven't seen even most of Phase 5 or most of Phase 4 because it wasn't a
That's
very
why there's
good looking
so many
thing.
movies.
And then there's TV shows on
There's
top of
so
that.
many.
And you have to watch TV shows to get the gist of these movies.
If there's gonna be no spoilers or anything, I
N-
can't really say a lot.
Well, we'll get to that after. We're trying to go light spoiler right now, and then we'll get to spoilers in a few minutes.
It felt like it was drawn out, but like not a lot happened.
I think it was just all character building. It was all character development. It was just kind of that kind of movie. At the same time, there weren't too many different set pieces, and so they spent a long time at each set piece, which probably made it feel a little more drawn out. It's
You know,
more
but at the
small.
same time,
It's
they're
more
not
small
like
scale, but
super abled.
I'm okay
Yeah,
with that.
none
Yes,
of the
they are.
characters are super abled. They can't fly. They can't like
Sentry can fly.
travel extremely long distances really quickly,
The Sentry can
you
fly.
know. So yeah, but spoiler,
No, you can talk about the Sentry.
can you?
You can. He's not the villain. He's the Sentry. The villain and the Sentry are not the same person. It mostly follows Yelena. What did you think of Yelena?
Yeah.
Florence Pugh, Little Midsummer Girl.
Somebody who's had such a rough life and like such an extreme life from such a very young age, she's very accepting, weirdly enough. The first person to be like, love and let's hold hands.
But you
Oh, I
haven't
don't
seen
think.
Black Widow or Hawkeye,
No, no, because
which
I
are
don't like
things
them.
that would develop the character.
Her superpower is that she can kick and
She
do
doesn't have a
flips.
superpower. She's got nothing.
Yeah,
She's
that's
got
it. That's all
nothing.
she
But
does.
she's got
She kicks and
charisma.
does flips.
She's got charisma, and I like her. Florence Pugh. Bucky. Bucky's in
We're
this, but
talking
it
about the
feels
new
like
one,
what?
the new
Yeah,
Black Widow, or are we talking about the old Black Widow?
we're talking about Florence Pugh now. We're talking about Thunderbolts.
That was her movie. She was
She was
the
in
new
Black.
Black Widow
She was in
movie.
Black Widow. So was the Red Guardian. It was
What?
her, Scarlett
Okay,
Johansson, and the
I'm
Red
so
Guardian.
lost on
Yeah.
the MCU.
On Hawkeye, Valentina whatever DeFontaine hires her to kill Hawkeye. And that's why she's on Hawkeye.
Oh, okay.
We have to talk about
Yeah.
Thunderbolts. Bucky's in it. It doesn't feel like he does a lot.
He is.
It kind of feels like he shows up
doesn't.
halfway through and then like just
he's a
conveniently says,
senator.
"Okay, let's go." He's not a senator. He's a congressman.
He says it's Thunderbolt in time,
No, he doesn't.
and then he does 100%. He says, "Let's Thunderbolt." I don't know why.
The Red Guardian's in it. We've already established you don't know him. It's David Harbour though. He's from Stranger Things. But I thought he was great in this. I thought
Maybe.
he stole every scene he was in and he kind of carried the movie when he was there.
He did.
The movie
Yeah.
got a lot better once he joined the group.
I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of the characters were kind of like socially awkward almost, rough around the edges, and then he showed up and just everything got a little bit lighter.
He's the comic relief, and it was a bit of a
Yeah.
dark movie. Ghost
Yeah.
is in it. She doesn't do a lot.
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of her scenes got cut out of the film. We'll talk about that later.
Which feels weird because she's the only one that actually has like powers that could be shown as like, oh, this is kind of cool.
I think she was from an Ant-Man movie.
Oh. But like dive into her powers a little bit more. They gave her
Yeah.
like a one sentence explanation of what she can and can't do with her powers, and then
Yeah.
everyone's like, okay.
She doesn't do a lot. We'll get more into that later, but like she doesn't do a lot. I feel like she was kind of inconsequential. Bob is in it. That's played by Bill Pullman's son.
Is in it, yeah.
He's pretty good. I was impressed with Bob. Good
Yeah.
actor. Good times. I liked him. This guy, God, what is his name? U.S. Agent. They never call him U.S. Agent in the movie, but he was Captain America.
Yeah, because he's not
Dime
Captain
Store
America
Captain
anymore.
America.
Yeah.
He was fired from the role of Captain America.
Yeah, he was like Captain America for like a week or something like that.
But I thought he was good. I thought he had good
Everywhere.
charisma. I think he fits in the MCU.
But at the same time, he's kind of dumb, is what it is. Like
I
he's
guess.
they gave him like the, oh, I'm so good at combat, I'm so good at all this stuff, but like I'm just kind of dumb. And it's like, oh, I'm kind of tired of that trope.
But I
And it's
think
like,
he
oh,
has a
you'd
good
assume that he
arc
would
in the
have like a
film. I
brain.
think he kind of redeems himself a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's kind of like Steve Rogers. He's like more like intelligent and tactical about things. This guy's just like, all right, let's go. Random thought process, and I'm gonna just do it.
You're probably right. But I thought he was good. He's
That could
also
be
the
it.
son of somebody. He's Kurt Russell's son. And Kurt Russell's also in the MCU. He's Ego the Planet.
Is he?
Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Right.
You'll notice that Taskmaster's not there, even though Taskmaster's on every poster and
Right?
every
Isn't
trailer.
that weird?
Isn't that weird?
It's
We'll
almost
talk
like
about that
they
later.
removed Taskmaster from the movie. Then.
In that picture that I have up right now, there's like a Taskmaster-sized hole in between the Red Guardian and Bucky. Is all I'm saying.
It's kind of weird, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there's like a Taskmaster-sized hole right there. And there's a Taskmaster-sized hole in my heart. But we'll talk about that later. But it's not the Thunderbolts anymore. They've changed the name to the New Avengers, which I think is kind of silly. I think they should have just called it that from the beginning if they want, because now it looks a little bit desperate. For some reason, I'm getting recommended videos of people saying that, like, it's happening because the movie's flopping, but I didn't think the movie was flopping. I have no idea, though. They're also not going to be the, quote, New Avengers. There's going to be other Avengers, the Sam Wilson Avengers. And maybe these guys are just going to absolutely get dispatched by Doctor Doom.
By literally anybody that's super abled at all.
They're super abled.
They're just strong. They're not like super abled.
And one other thing about this movie is it's smaller scale. So it's like street level, and I like that. I like that it's more street level.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be the grand space battle, because the grand space battle's probably coming in the two Avengers movies.
I just feel like these Avengers can get taken out by anybody that can fly more than 10 feet above the ground.
Put Daredevil in
You'd
there or
think.
something, because they've been bringing Daredevil back on TV. I've heard people don't like it too much. I haven't watched it yet. I liked the old Netflix ones, and
I
I've been
haven't
kind of
seen that.
I've been dragging my feet because I don't want it to wreck it, and I've been hearing some kind of bad things. I watched the first episode; it was okay, but they did some stuff I didn't like. But Daredevil would be a good addition to this team, I think. He's even in the same city, so Spider-Man. But maybe they're going to be the real Avengers. You know what I mean?
I thought Spider-Man was an Avenger, technically.
Have you seen the last Spider-Man movie? Because nobody knows who he is anymore. A spell was cast.
I think I saw that one, yeah.
Yeah, a spell was cast. Nobody knows who he is anymore. He's going into the new Avengers movie with a clean slate. He knows everyone else. They don't know him.
Oh, okay. I mean, he could literally just walk up to them and go, "Hey, I'm Spider-Man. I'd like to join. Look at all this cool stuff I can do.
Maybe.
Try and shoot me. You can't."
Maybe. I hope Tony Stark shows up and just kills Spider-Man.
Instantly, just like swats him like a
And
actual spider.
he's like, Mr. Stark, and then he just kills him.
Oops.
So Thunderbolts, you don't recommend it? You don't like it? You didn't like Thunderbolts? You didn't like Thunderbolts?
I mean, it was okay.
You didn't like Thunderbolts?
I just feel like it didn't have a lot of steam.
You didn't like Thunderbolts?
Are you still able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just disappointed in you.
Okay.
Because I thought it was pretty good.
I mean, I guess it was okay.
I experienced superhero fatigue back when Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came out. I was hesitant to even watch it because I was already sick of the Marvel movies at that point.
Yeah.
And then they sucked me back in with Guardians being good, and then like Spider-Man, and then those Avengers movies. But then after Avengers Endgame, I think was the last one, I didn't really watch too many of them except when they would bring back Spider-Man, really. Then I watched Multiverse of Madness, which you have to watch WandaVision to watch Multiverse of Madness. That was the start of the big nonsensical, you need to watch all these TV shows to watch the movies thing.
I kind of liked WandaVision, though.
I did too.
Pretty nice.
I also kind of liked WandaVision as well, which is why I watched Multiverse of Madness. But not everyone watched WandaVision, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I liked it better at the start than at the end, I have to say. I liked how it started more, and then it kind of just became every other MCU movie as a show.
maybe that's just a little bit of Marvel fatigue.
It could be. It's hard to say. I think it's just bad writing is the problem. They need to start trying again. A lot of convenient things that happen in this movie. I guess we can talk spoilers. We can talk spoilers for Thunderbolts. Let's talk spoilers. Give me your unfiltered thoughts.
I don't know what my unfiltered thoughts are, really.
Well, what's the problems that you were going to say, but you didn't know if you could say it?
Well, they killed off the one character immediately, who
You know,
was
okay.
supposedly part
I
of the
think
promotional material.
I think I can help with this. All right. Let's go through what happens in the movie. It's spoiler talk, so I think that's okay. So the movie starts with Yelena being cool and giving actually a pretty good speech about how she feels sad with the world or whatever, and her sister's dead, and nobody loves her, and she's bored with what she's doing, right? They undercut it by having it be her telling it to a guy that she's taped up and tied up, and like it turns into a joke, and it no longer has the same gravity, I find. And then even then, during that scene, she throws a few one-liners during the action, and it just feels weird and forced. She's like, "I dodge," or "You shoot, I dodge," and it's like, okay, why'd you say that? That was weird. I also thought
It
that
was.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus was kind of bored and doing nothing. Wasn't convincing as a villain. I'm used to her
Oh, you're
being
talking
a
about
lot.
Elaine.
Yeah, I'm used to her being a lot more snappy.
Yeah, she didn't do the dance once.
Nah, she never did the dance. But like I feel like maybe she woke up halfway through the movie, but in the first half of the movie it was almost like she was reading lines off a card.
She might have been, actually.
Yelena and all the people that are in the Thunderbolts work for Elaine. She needs to clean up her loose ends because she's getting impeached from government for trying to build a superhuman and doing human testing. So she sends them all to a
Yes.
facility to basically kill each other to tie up the loose ends. And that's where Taskmaster shows up and is immediately dispatched. And that was apparently...
Which is something that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Because, like, Taskmaster is supposed to be able to essentially copy every single person's combat abilities and use it at any point in time.
Yeah, but you weren't aware that Taskmaster was already in the MCU and people were already upset with this version of Taskmaster.
Because, like, I thought Taskmaster was a dude, and then all of a
It
sudden,
is.
Taskmaster's a woman.
It's a different
And
character.
I'm like, okay.
It's not that
No.
that Taskmaster's a woman that's the issue. It's that it's not Taskmaster from the comics at all.
They just changed the person completely, and it's like,
it doesn't
can you
even the
just
mask
stop
isn't
doing
even the
that?
same. Apparently, word is that they decided that the movie didn't have enough stakes, and so they needed to kill off a character to make you feel like really anything could happen. And of all the characters in the movie, apparently Taskmaster is the only one that didn't have a step plan for what happens after Avengers Secret Wars. They wouldn't be really a loss there.
Yeah.
Because there was already no plans for the character because it was very poorly received.
I didn't even really know that it was Taskmaster.
Until I told you.
And I was like, yeah, until you said something, I was like, that was Taskmaster?
Yeah, because I was shocked. I
No.
was shocked to know that you actually already knew Taskmaster. Because I'm not even familiar with Taskmaster from the comics at all. I have no dog in this fight. But you actually knew who Taskmaster was, and you were like, "That was Taskmaster."
Nobody wants to fight Taskmaster, and like Taskmaster will fight everybody other than Moon Knight because
I gotta
Moon Knight
find
will
proof
literally
of
just
that.
get stabbed just to fight somebody.
I gotta find
And
proof of
Taskmaster
that.
doesn't want to just sit there and go shot for shot knife stabbings with Moon Knight.
Yeah, I need to find proof of that.
I think their power is photographic reflex. So like they just watch other people's movements and duplicate them without practicing them.
Dude, she was blocking point blank range bullets through the whole fight with the shield.
Other than that one
You
time
like a big
where
grin
like,
on your face when you're not talking.
do I?
Yeah, not all the time. It was just like that.
Sorry, my mustache is growing out again,
Womp
and it's kind
womp.
of getting in the way.
Well, fix your face.
No,
Fix
I
your
won't.
face. I like the movie. What's your problem?
I don't like how everything was solved by group family hugs and
Okay,
therapy
we'll leave that
session.
to the end because that was the end of the movie. Got it. Okay, but I feel you. You don't like emotion.
The whole
You don't like to
movie
feel. You don't
made
like
me
feelings.
feel like it was like a big therapy session the whole time.
You don't like feelings. Got it.
No, it's not that. It just doesn't feel like it
You don't
fits
want
into
you don't want an emotional
Marvel.
core. You don't want an emotional core to your film.
Well, because it felt a bit forced.
So don't you think these
You
people would
know?
experience trauma?
Yeah, but
Don't you think
know,
they'd feel
that's-
sad every now and then? If you prick them,
I
dude, they not
understand
bleed.
that.
If you prick them,
Maybe
do they
not
not bleed?
some of them. Maybe not Sentry. You can't stab him. Yeah, I don't know. Like I understand like emotions are obviously a thing, but it doesn't really feel like it fits into the Marvel Cinematic Universe of like, oh, I'm sad now therefore I can't do. I don't want to go to a movie to feel depressed.
But at the same time, I'm so tired of all the jokes anyway. I thought, like, I didn't even have a problem with the jokes in this movie too much because they brought levity
Yeah.
to an already depressing situation. But we'll get to the end when we get to the end, okay? So, we've established.
Feels like that's all that really happened in the movie.
But there
Yeah.
were some
And then they
powerful
all just
moments
kind
in
of
this.
leave.
There were some powerful moments in this film. There were
Were
some
there?
stupid moments, but there were some powerful moments that I was really engaged
I
by.
don't know.
So let's see. Stupid moments is Red Guardian finding them, saying that once he heard the coordinates, he came
Yeah,
right away. He didn't
that's
hear the coordinates. The coordinates were
he
not
didn't
said in
hear
his
the
presence.
coordinates.
I would have liked to have known more
Hey.
about where Bucky was. I understand he can trace that girl's phone. It still doesn't really cover what he did, and it might have been interesting to see what Bucky was up to at all. Like even if it was just
You
one or two
yeah.
scenes that might have been cut from the movie before he joins the Thunderbolts.
He essentially pulled his arm out of the dishwasher and then
Just-
was shooting a grenade launcher. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
And there was a big
okay. So what
there's like
happened
a
between them?
40-minute
No?
gap in between that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 40
Yeah.
minutes of him just gone,
Because
not doing anything.
he talked to Elaine's assistant on the phone, and Elaine's assistant was frustrating because I didn't believe or care about her at all. She was like, "This is bad, but this is good. I don't like being bad, but I'm gonna be bad. I need a raise." It was weird.
Yeah.
She was weird. She didn't make sense. And even then, Elaine like not having a problem with her ratting her out. What?
Yeah.
And she's just like, ah, you come back when you come to your senses. What an odd villain. I like her as an actress. I like her on a lot of shows. I hope they do
But
more
it
with her
feels like her
character.
part
That's
was written
interesting.
weird.
All right, so Bucky barely did anything. I feel like Ghost barely did anything.
Barely.
Apparently, they cut out a
Barely.
whole lot of scenes in the script of Ghost interacting and having an arc with Taskmaster. And since Taskmaster was removed from the
Oh.
movie, Ghost had nothing to do. Isn't that
It's
great?
kind of weird, but okay.
The writer didn't know
No.
that happened until he saw the movie.
Oh, I'd be really mad.
Yeah, wouldn't you? Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It was smaller scale, it was street level, but at the same time, I kind of liked that. There's this really cool scene where they're protecting people, and when's the last time you saw people doing that? Like Spider-Man, early Spider-Man? Well, there's this really powerful moment when the Red Guardian saves the child, and then the child gets put into the void. That was a good scene.
Yeah. Marvel's testing the waters with child death now,
Well, Minecraft did it,
seeing how people feel about it. Yeah, they did.
But the kid came back, and a lot of people are upset that like it removes the stakes that the people came back. But it's like, what do you want? It's still like supposed to be a superhero movie. You don't want the whole city of New York to die. It's not necessary. It added to the threat. It's still a large scale threat that like New York or Manhattan or whatever was basically in the fucking void. But at the end, it is determined that they can go into the void and talk to Bob and try and make him fight himself, I guess, get them out of there, defeat the void, and they give him a big hug, which I think was a mistake. I think they should have just pulled him off himself and made it look like a hug without it just being a hug, but it was just straight up a hug.
they really pushed that hug, and I was just like, oh.
It wouldn't like because it didn't look like
It's
they were
weird, but
trying to
alright.
pull him off. It looked like they were just hugging him. And what they
Yeah.
should have done was make it be him a struggle to pull him off, but the struggle looks like it could be a hug in imagery, but it's literally still an actual struggle. But this was just a straight up, we're gonna give him a very warm hug so he feels loved.
Which still feels weird.
I know they were still trying to pull him off of himself, but they didn't make it look like that. There was no look of pulling him off. It was just a hug. And like, I don't buy that John Walker would go and hug him or Ghost.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I don't
either.
think that they would care to hug him to save the day.
No.
They didn't sell that camaraderie of the group. Maybe because like the group didn't really have any chemistry. Elena and her father had chemistry, but as a group, there wasn't that chemistry where it felt like they like would do anything for each other. Even though they went in there together, it was kind of just like, we decided to show up. Bucky was like, my past was great.
The whole movie just kind of felt a bit weird to me.
It was a setup
Just in
for
general,
a
from
future
start to
movie.
finish. Yeah.
It was a setup for a future movie. It even ends in the end credit scene with the Fantastic Four plane showing up, which is whatever. It hardly felt worth sitting
Yeah.
there for 15 minutes, personally, but
Oh,
we already know the
okay.
Fantastic Four movie's coming, and we already know the Fantastic Four is going to be in Avengers Doomsday, so they're going to get to this universe anyway. You're just showing me their ship. I've already seen their ship in the Fantastic Four trailer, and guess what? It's a different ship.
I don't know a lot about Fantastic Four.
It's clobbering time. But I liked it. I liked this movie. I thought it was pretty good. I thought Florence Pugh was great. I thought David Harbour was great, and they carried the movie. Bucky is a cool character, but he didn't really do much.
I agree with you. He didn't really do a lot. He was just kind of there for a majority of it. It's like, okay.
For half of
That's
it,
fine.
maybe half of it.
Yeah, maybe half of it. It almost feels like the movie went through a lot of rewrites
It probably
and
did.
like reshoots,
It
and then they
probably
kind of
did.
just like pieced together whatever they generally could about it. And they're like,
Maybe.
this will be good enough. People will eat it up.
They also had to change some stuff apparently because it was going to be there were going to be some things pointing to the Kang dynasty, but they got rid of the Kang character. Well, heck, I don't know if I had anything else to say about the Thunderbolts. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't great.
You know, I'm kind of indifferent to it. I might just be going through Marvel fatigue.
Even though if they don't stand a chance to the real Avengers in the future, they're going to play a part. They're obviously not the new Avengers. They're technically the new Avengers, but they're not the Avengers.
They're not the new Avengers.
Yeah, they're not the keynote stars of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. It's not the new Avengers Doomsday and the new Avengers Secret Wars. But they'll play a
No.
part. And Bucky was an actual Avenger, I'm pretty sure, so
Was he?
thought he was.